The Lancer in Gears 5 has changed quite a bit. It started off unlike any previous game, and though it has changed to act more like previous entries in the franchise, it's still a little different and it has some quirks. I'm going to run down a few things to help you grasp what's happening with the weapon. Before we get started though, if you want to see these tips in action or ask any Gears related questions, Max and I stream Gears every Tuesday at 6 PM Pacific Time or 9 PM Eastern. I stream at twitch.tv/btwick, and both of our links are down in the description. Let's start with the basics. The Lancer has been nerfed in terms of damage and is now pretty much strictly a support weapon. It takes 14 body shots to down someone. You'll know you hit a body shot when this white hit marker appears in your reticle. If you see red, that means you hit a headshot and did about 10% more damage than the body shot. It's also important to note that the Lancer has more vertical recoil than in Gears 4, so it does take a bit more work to hold on your target, especially about halfway through a clip. At launch, the Lancer had recoil-based aiming. That meant that as long as the center of your reticle was on a target, it would hit with perfect accuracy. The trade-off was that the recoil was a lot more difficult to manage. The Coalition has since turned the weapon back into a bloom weapon. This means that the longer you hold down the trigger, the more inaccurate the weapon will be. Let's take a closer look. The Lancer bullet originates at the tip of the barrel. With the bloom system, the trajectory of the bullet is then randomly chosen from any spot inside the reticle, and then an invisible line is basically drawn connecting the tip of the barrel to the spot in the reticle and extends out until it hits something. If it's one of the first couple bullets fired, the reticle is super small and the Lancer is basically perfectly accurate. But as the bloom expands, the bullet can go off in a lot more directions at random. When an enemy is close, this isn't that big of a deal. The spread will still mostly hit them, but as the player moves further and further away, more bullets will miss. Something that should be kept in mind is that as you ADS, the bloom starts at its largest and then shrinks, so you need to wait a beat before shooting. The hard part is figuring out at what range it is best to hold the trigger down versus feathering it. Here are a few things that should help. First, aim for the top of the chest. This is the widest part of the hitbox and will help you hit the most shots. The boost from hitting headshots is only worth it if you don't miss more than once. Second, if the player is running side to side, I recommend setting the reticle offset on their front half a little bit and burst firing. The first two bullets should hit, and then by the time the third and fourth bullets reach them, the reticle should encompass their whole body, reset, and do it again. Third, if the player is aggressively pushing you, fire away. Hit as many bullets as you can and then switch to the shotgun when they get too close. If you hit 3 bullets, you only need to land an 83% shot to down them, which is much easier than having to hit a perfect gib. The Lancer is definitely weaker than it used to be, but it can still be deadly in the right hands. Hopefully these tips help you improve.